So we're inside the Princess Louise in Holborn, a beautiful pub. One of the most beautiful pubs you can come across, to be honest. If you was coming from abroad and you wanted to see an actual English or British depiction of a pub, whether it's mock or original, you'd want something like this. Now, usually I go on a big tirade of history, but I'm going to be really brief about that on this particular occasion. Now, the Princess Louise is named after the fourth child of Prince Albert and Queen Victoria, the Saxe-Coburgs that would become the Windsors. Allegedly, she was a little bit flirtatious and naughty, to say the least, but I'm not going into that. And to also summarise why this place looks like it does, I'll quickly explain that it is a gin palace. I've mentioned this before, we'll mention it in the future. And gin palaces came about post the Glorious Revolution of 1688, which saw James II, in my opinion illegally, deposed by the Protestant clergy who brought in William of Orange from Holland, William III, to take the throne. William III then basically gave his buddies in Holland, who were making gin, a great deal to ship a lot of it here for cheap, and then gin became a very cheap commodity. But unfortunately, it was the heroin of the day. It destroyed people, and therefore it was banned. When it was brought back, in order to sell it to the public again, basically in true form of propaganda, we got gin palaces as a way of gentrifying what was essentially a form of heroin at the time. But that's not why we're here. But it would be wrong of me not to mention it. We're here because this is a beautiful example of a Sam Smith's pub. And when I say Sam Smith's, I mean Samuel Smith. All right? Let's get this clear for a start. We're not talking about the singer. All right? Now, Samuel Smiths go well out of their way to make beautiful public houses. And what makes it so special is, before I tell you why, you can walk in a public house and think, cool, how old is this? What makes them so special is not only will it look old, some of it might be imitation or new, which is just as special because it means they've gone out of their way to make the place look beautiful. Now, Sam Smith's has quite a few examples. I could talk about the City of York, I could talk about the Angel in Rotherhithe, or we could even talk about tales such as the Swiss Cottage, which a station was named after. That's how iconic these pubs and the legacy of what Samuel Smith has provided is. So I don't really care whether or not you like Sam Smith's alcohol. That's just pure opinion. What's fact is that the Sam Smith pubs that exist make most pubs look pretty downtrodden or uninventive or like modern bars. Whether it's the beautiful mirrors, the fantastic stained glass, the bars, and whether that's antique or new, I still love it. Because if it is antique, it means they looked after it. If it's not, it means they've done a great job imitating it. And that is the difference between something that is and is not special. Now, Samuel Smiths make all of their own drinks. Now, this also shows a huge level of expertise, especially considering they are a very successful pub chain. It shows that they put in a high level of effort, otherwise people just wouldn't turn up. Only a moment ago we heard someone come in and order a Malibu and Coke, for instance, and the staff said, we have our own products, which is very similar. So they're always willing to cater to whatever type of drink you want through their own produce. Now, funnily enough, a lot of people don't actually know that John Smith's, which is a very famous drink in British pubs, that was actually made by the brother of Sam Smith, Samuel Smith. And like I said, I really am amazed how many people don't know that. I use this term all the time, but it's because it's so true when we're talking about these subjects. Different things make different places special. And what makes Sam Smith so special is the rules, which are leaning towards traditional conversation, traditional pub culture. So Samuel Smith doesn't like people being on mobile phones, laptops. He doesn't like the Costa coffee mentality. Doesn't like loudness. You'll notice there's no music playing, for instance. And if there was to be too much, shall we say, aggression, it would be dealt with. And this shows that the man in charge is willing to lose a pound note to preserve cultural magnificence. How many people can you speak that highly of? Maybe you have things about Samuel Smith or Samuel Smiths you don't like, but you'd be hard pressed to convince me of them. So as you can see, we're drinking Taddy, which is obviously one of Sam Smith's. You don't have any other option in here. You can't bring your own packed lunch. But to conclude, I'd like to say that though I say all pubs are special in their own way, unless they're gastro or modern bars, we should give a lot more credit to places like this, and maybe it will encourage other people in the future to adopt a similar system. After all, how risky must it have been to not only do this, but to then sell your own alcohol? So many things could have gone wrong, and he still made it work. The tiling, these snugs, the glass, the mirrors, the fantastic woodwork, the ceiling, the pillars. I am in love with the inside of the Princess Louise. I'm in love with the inside of the Angel in Rotherhithe. I'm in love with pretty much any Sam Smith pub I walk in. So if you're going to go out in London or just go out for the day anywhere, seek out a Sam Smith's and see if I'm lying, and give it not just the custom, but the credit that it deserves. And to pub owners out there, if you have the wherewithal, or dare I say the income, to do something like this, we'd all be proud of you for doing so. So from Dan, myself, and Britain's Lost and Living Pubs, take care. We'll see you soon.